Hey everyone, Tactics here, and today we got a Dragonflight talent preview for Druid and Death Knight, so you know I had to, of course, go through this entire post by Blizzard and look at the Guardian Druid specific things. So without further ado, let's do that. I'm not going to go through this entire big blurb here. I'll post it down below if you want to go through it, but there is some things, these clarification questions mostly, that I do want to go over quickly before getting into the bulk of the talent. So the big thing here is that there are going to be a bunch of baseline talents and abilities that you won't need to take depending on your specialization. So, for example, Guardian Druids won't need to take the initial points in the general tree. For Guardian specific ones, they'll get those baseline, similar for Feral, Balance, Restore, all those kinds of things. Like, for example, I believe the Resto ones, they get Rejuve and Swift Mend baseline. They don't need to invest points into that. In terms of like ideology, in this post, they kind of basically say that they want the more power, like more general traits that you're most likely going to be taking, easily accessible, so it doesn't kind of affect your build path too much. You're still free to kind of branch out after them, so they tend to be pushed towards the top of the tree, and they don't want it to basically limit choice. Here they talk about interrupts for Mythic Plus, that kind of thing, and how it's they want to make these choices early on, so it's still possible to be creative and potentially come up with like bad builds, things like that. And they do also confirm that yes, you will have to buy some abilities that are currently baseline, just because it did make sense to put them into the talents tree, which I think is more than fair. But now let's talk about the talents themselves. All right, so start with the base abilities here, standard stuff. Wrath, Moonfire, Regrowth, Revive, yeah. Bear Form, Bark, all that stuff is normal. This is the cool one. Mark of the Wild is back. Speed, crit, and magic damage taken reduced by 3%. That's a very interesting raid buff. I am going to be honest, I don't like raid buffs. I don't like that their solution is just to give out more raid buffs. I'm not a fan. I think they should just delete raid buffs, or they should overlap raid buffs. That's what I think they should be doing. I get a new raid buff on the Druid, great, but I don't know. Raid buffs don't feel good, man. That's my take. I have a reason to be brought to raids now on like Guardian, for example, but it doesn't feel great. It is what it is. That looks like a pretty strong raid buff, and I'm curious to see if they're going to add more raid buffs now too. We'll have to see how that goes, but Mark of the Wild has returned. Now, let's look at the class-specific talent. So this is kind of where you're getting into that situation where, like, if you're Feral, you get this basic Feral stuff, like you get Rake, you get Thrash, just by default. If you're Guardian, you get Frenzied Regen, and you get Thrash by default. Resto gets Rejuve and Swiftmend by default, and Balance gets Starfire and Star Surge by default, and there's also just an improved Barkskin. Moving down, Rip, Swipe, improved Frenzied Regen. The Dispel is also here, and then Boomkin Form. Interesting, so you get the choice to take Boomkin Form down there. Actually, maybe I can pull up, I have two screens of this. That's what I should do. Open image and new tab. There we go. That's what we do. All right, so these you'll get instantly depending on your spec. As with this one, you get instantly depending on your spec. This one. You have the choice to go get improved Barkskin into improved Frenzied Regen. Interesting. And then we go row 3. Rip, Wipe. The Dispel. Going to be pretty relevant. Boomkin Form. Go down a row. We've got Maim Stun. We've got increased armor and physical damage dealt. That's interesting. That's very strong. Iron Fur. So you're going to have to invest in Iron Fur as a tank. Healing and magic damage. And then Hibernate is also in this. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Hibernate being all the way over there is a little... Okay, you just kind of lose base utility, but it's in the tree. Kind of in a spot. I don't know if you'd really want to go here as a Guardian Druid. We'll see. And so that's kind of the line too, where moving past this line, you have to have invested 8 points. So you can't just kind of speed run 2 points here. You have to actually invest 8 points before moving across this line. Okay. And then you move down. Move speed, kick, all damage taken by 3-6%. Okay. Choice node Tiger Dash versus Wild Charge. Tiger Dash, Wild Charge. Yeah, that is one you could also feasibly just never take too, right? You don't really, I mean, you don't play with either right now. You play with Renewal, but you could just actually never take that point and it would be okay. Healing and Healing Taken. Where's that? That's here? That's pretty good. Healing and Healing Taken. Cyclone and then Astral Influence. Where is that? This one? Okay, so for Ferals and Guardians increases your range by 3 yards and Resto and Bounce increases. Oh, they're all range. Oh, it's 3 and 5 and 1 and 3. Got it. Okay, so there's Boomkin Affinity and Feral Affinity are basically on this row. Actually, are those Resto Affinities too? Not really, but not really. It's like a weird Ysera's. It's kind of like the Affinity row basically, but not quite. All right, moving down again, we get Speed after Cat from Us. Is that a PvP talent? I think it's a PvP talent or something. I don't know. It's something weird, but okay. Soothe. That's important. Sunfire and Typhoon. Okay, so Typhoon is here. Again, it's over there, though. And you'd have to go all the way down this. That's unfortunate. Okay, moving on to the next row. Primal Fury, when you critically strike with an attack that generates a combo point, you gain additional combo point damage over time. Effect activated. So I guess this does nothing for like a Guardian Druid, probably. Ursoc's Endurance, when you use Bark and Survival Instincts, absorb a small amount of damage over 8 seconds. What's NNF? Not final. Something, probably. Stampeding Roar, shift into bear form, blah, blah, blah. Speed, yes, we know what that is. That's right there. Got it. Wild Growth is there. Improves Sunfire. Sunfire now applies its damage over time effect to all enemies. Okay, so now baseline Sunfire is only single target. And you have to get improved Sunfire to make it AoE. Is what I think that means. Interesting. Row 8. So now you need to have committed 20 points to move past this line. So all in this area, you have to commit 20 points. You move down. You get the choice between In-Cap Roar and Mighty Bash. That's kind of mean, man. That's kind of mean. I like In-Cap Roar, and I like Mighty Bash. It's probably In-Cap Roar all the time, though. Ursine Vigor for 4 seconds. Consume your health and armor. Okay, so that Conduit nobody uses. Like Hera's Teachings, you gain 1, 2, 3% of stat based on your current form. Oh, this is Torghast. Torghast power. So bears just get 3% burst, at 3% crit, no form haste, Moonkin Mastery. Interesting. That's there. Interesting. Improved Rejuve. 3 seconds. Mass Entanglement and Ursouls are then the choice over here. I don't hate that. I don't hate that change. Or that being a thing. Again, those either access by going deep resto or deep balance. But I guess you kind of have to go deep balance if you ever want Innervate. Row 9. Well-honed Instincts. Okay, so that Conduit, very strong Conduit. Okay, improved Stampeding Roar. Cooldown reduced by 60 seconds. So that makes it Guardian and Feral currently. Renewal. Innervate. Okay, let's look at this bottom row here now. Okay, Furor. When you shift into a form you haven't been in for 20 seconds, abilities cost no rage, energy, astral power, or mana for 4 seconds. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, but it's all the way in the feral tree. Interesting. Okay, Heart of the Wild abilities not associated with your current chosen spec are substantially powered. Okay, Nature's Vigil. Oh, they did return Nature's Vigil. So I thought this was Nature's Vigil. It is. Confirmed Nature's Vigil. For 20 seconds, all single target healing and damage spells and abilities also heal a nearby. I can't read, Jesus. Friendly target based on the amount. 20% for heals, 40% for damage spells, 1.5 minutes CD. That's nice. That is nice. You get Innervate and Nature's Vigil, man. This is just goated down here. This down here, absolutely goated. All right, now let us look at the specific spec ones. Guardian Druid. That's all that matters, man. All right, Guardian row 1, Maul. Can I please not take Maul? Can I skip that one? Please. Row 2, Gore. Rash, Swipe, Moonfire, and Maul, 50% chance, yeah, same thing. Survival Instincts again. Okay, so obviously you're gonna have to take both of those. Guardian row 3. Choice note. Brambles are bristling fur. Okay, so you're going to get to basically always have brambles because Earth Warden's over here. So you kind of need to go over there. Improved bear form. An additional 20% stamina. Moonfire suit. Okay, so this is just mandatory. Improved bear form. Yep. Improved survival instincts. Also mandatory. Improved mangle, 20% additional damage. You probably would be able to skip that in like AoE maybe, but I don't know what that is. Guardian, innate resolve. Okay, so that's the conduit we get. Infected wounds, that's our slow, which is totally skippable. Berserk is there. What is the interaction with Berserk and Incarn? I need to, well, I guess we'll see. Berserk, Ravage. Go Berserk 15 seconds, reducing the cooldown of Mangle, Thrash, and Growl, blah, blah, blah. Choose bind with other Berserk abilities, granting all known Berserk effects while active. What does that mean? That sounds interesting. I guess I'll read. Ursox Endurance increases the duration of Bark Skin and Iron Fur by 1 second. What's the baseline duration of Iron Fur here? Did they reduce it, or did they... Iron for 7 seconds. 8 second. It's not probably pretty good value. Gory Fur. Mango has a 50% chance to reduce the rage cost. Ah, Mango reducing Iron for rage cost. Never mind. You need that. Very cool. Okay, positive outlook. Okay, extra thrashes. Extra thrashes are back. That's just the Legion thing. Big. Scintillating Moonlight. Moonfire reduces damage dealt by 2-4%. All right. Legion. I think that's Legion. Was that Legion? I don't remember. Tooth and Claw. Is this real Tooth and Claw or fake Tooth and Claw like we have now? Auto attacks have a 20% chance to empower your next maul. Second to 2 times. Power knowledge for... Okay. Where is that? There? Is it the 2-pointer? No. Oh, it's here. Positive. Okay, so you can just also have Tooth and Claw. I'm interested now. I'm interested. Layered Mane. Iron Fur has a 5-10% chance to grant 2 applications. I can see you skipping this side. Layered Mane is good value if you're Iron Furring a lot, obviously, but you need Iron Fur a lot. Earth Warden, of course, classic. Very good against auto attacks. Twin Moonfire. This is where I'm getting hyped. Moonfire deals 20% increased damage and also hits another nearby enemy within 15 yards of the target. And Galactic Guardian, your damage is a 5% chance. Ooh. Twin Moonfire, Galactic Guardian. Let's go. Let's go. And Moonfire makes everything deal 4% less damage to you. I'm hyped. I love Moonbear in Legion. All right. Maul has 15-30% chance to crit. Vicious Cycle. Mangle increases the damage of your next Maul, and Maul increases the damage of your next Mangle. Huh. What's that? This one? This one. Interesting. Iron Fur increases armor by additional 4%. Bark Skin reduces... Oh, that's really good, too. Was that just a 1-pointer? Oh, it's just a 1-pointer. That's interesting. Maul Mangle damage build. All right. Berserk Persistence. Okay, so they've separated Berserk into multiple things. Interesting. Go Berserk for 15 seconds. Reduces the cooldown of Frenzy Region by 100%. The cost of Iron for... Oh, so the first one is just damage. Damage CDs. And the second one is your defensive CDs. Okay. Fury of Nature. While in bear form, you deal 10 to 20% increased arcane damage. Huh. You can like Giga Juice Moonfires, man. Oh, I am ready to go Moonbear. Front of the pack, move speed by blah, stampeding roars duration. Okay, cool. Another Berserk. 15% haste and reduces the rage cost of Maul. Interesting. So this is new. So this is like half combining our unchecked aggression thing with another boost to Maul. So they're really going in on trying to make Maul worth pressing. Okay. I'm more interested now. I'm more interested in Maul now. We'll see how this goes. But they're really trying hard to make Maul worth pressing, it seems. Row 8. Dream of Cenarius. When you take non-periodic damage, you have a chance equal to your critical strike. Cause your next regrowth to be instant, free, and castable in all forms. Cannot occur more than once every 20 seconds. So, free regrowths. Free regrowths when you take damage equal to your crit. Okay. I mean, kind of like wogs, right? But I assume regrowths are gotta be weaker than a wog, right? But that's interesting. Giving us the ability to off heal. This is definitely the raid town, right? Because of course, anytime you get AoE, you just take UFR. Maul and Thrash. That's interesting. So they've just added Maul text to so many abilities now. It's good. It needed it, man. Maul sucks. Maul is atrocious. Like, you still use it sometimes, but Maul is so bad. So definitely needed that. Interesting, though. I am interested in this. Because if you get juicy Mauls, right? If you, like, absolutely juice your Mauls, you could get pretty substantial UFR shields in single target even, actually. Considering that. So, like, because right now it's just Thrash, and Thrash kind of tickles in single target, right? With one target, you don't get a ton of UFR value. But if you're able to get absolutely massive Mauls with, like, Tooth and Claw and, like, Berserk, and, like, you can spam out Mauls with a reduced rage cost Berserk, that's interesting. That's interesting. My interest is piqued. Alright, Elune's favorite, one bear form, you do this. Wait. Just another boost? Because this is 30% increased arcane damage, and right here is 20%. And this is also healed. Oh my god. Moon Bear. Oh my god. That's so juiced. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Moonfire build. I'm so ready, man. Oh god. Struggle life and death, your damage over time effects, dealer damage 25% of the time, and your healing over time effects 15% of the time. Yeah, and that just sends your healing even more because your Moonfires are ticking faster. Okay. Mangle increases the duration of your next Iron for by 2 seconds, and the healing. Yeah, okay, that's standard. After the wildfire, every time you spend 200 rage, you heal nearby allies for 3% of your maximum health. Okay, so this is kind of like just like passive raid healing, like kind of like a Ysera's gift type deal. Guardian of Elune. Where is that? Where's that row? Is it this? Oh, it's this. Like, these are both passable effects, but it's blocking you from getting, like, this stuff, which I guess we'll see if that matters. Row 9. Frenzied regen cooldown reduced by 10%. Don't care. Pulverize. Also don't care. Devastating blow consumes 2 stacks of your thrash on the target to deal physical damage or reduce... Unless they Giga buff Pulverizes damage, this is kind of irrelevant. Like, it has its niche, obviously, but below that, no, same row, never mind. Same row after Moon Bear. You get the choice between Convoke, 16 Druid spells, favoring your current shapeshifter form, yeah, normal. An improved bear form that grants all of your known Berserk effects. Causes Mangle to hit up 3 targets. Okay, so yeah. You still have to get the Berserk effects to actually make this Incarn. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so basically it's kind of like divided into 2 things. Where it's like you've got Moon Bear over here. And you've got Mangle Maul Bear. Mangle Maul Bear over here. Interesting. Okay. Then, of course, these ones are ones like everyone would want. Choice Node. Blood Frenzy. Of course. Good. Soul of the Forest. Good if you're using Mangle to buff Mauls and stuff, right? So, okay. Reduce the cooldown on Barks and Survival Instincts by 33%. Of course. Standard. Row 10. Okay, this is interesting. Untamed Savagery. Increases the damage and radius of Thrash by 25%. That's a pretty big boost. But it does compete now with Rend and Tear. See, that's an actual competitor for Rend and Tear. Like, this is obviously better in single target. Probably, I mean, it's got to be better in single target, right? Just a flat 6%. But it's also a DR, whereas this one is not. Though, if you're running the UFR talent, the other one is quote-unquote defensive, right? And the UFR talent is right here. So, improved Incarn and Convoke. Shifting out of Incarn before it expires ends the effect and refunds a portion. CDR. Remote experience and increase energy expression, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the problem with this is that if you just like get the pack to a point where you're like, okay, I can live without Incarn, and then you shift out of bear form, you just instantly die. So this is really only relevant for if you Incarn a pack that dies instantly, which is not great. Not great. So you would most likely completely ignore this effect because you can't really shift out in combat into out of bear form. I mean, like, maybe, right? Of course, we're like Nox and creating space, but then like you're just wasting half of Incarn doing that. Meh. And then Rage of the Sleeper. So, oh, it's a separate again. Ooh, it's a separate button again. Great. Unleashes the Rage of Ursoc for 10 seconds, providing 25% of all damage you take, and reflecting nature damage. Back to the nature damage reflect. 25% DR, 10 second, immune to CC. Big. That's big. Well, that's not exactly what it was, right? Because it used to increase your damage by 25% and give you leech or something, right? I think that's what it did. I think that's what it did. But they kind of gave it back. It is now just a separate defensive button. What's the CD? I guess I don't know. Okay. Thoughts. I really like what they're doing with Maul. Obviously, I need to see numbers. I am optimistic about what they're doing with Maul. I'm also super, super happy Moonbear is coming back, man. That build is always just so fun. And it sounds like it could be pretty good in AoE. Definitely good in Cleave. Perma Moonfires, you get the GG Moonfires. It sounds really fun. The Mangle Maul build opens up single target. And just the fact that we're going to get the ability to kind of like specialize in single target, AoE, Cleave, etc. I'm very happy. I really like how this is shaping up. This tree is interesting, I guess, but there's just some very obvious, like, power-wise, like, Fuhrer seems like very weird, and especially because it's so deep Feral, and Feral kind of has some pretty meh talents, whereas all the good talents are in Boomkin Resto area, right? Like all this stuff down here is really, really good. And like the good utility spells are over here too, right? Like Typhoon is here, Mass Entangle and Ursul's is here, extra range is over here. All that stuff is over on this side of the tree, and Dispel is over here, and there's not really as much utility on this end of the tree. But it's kind of weird. You're probably just going to have to move, no matter what you are, is move towards the right side of this tree and start picking up stuff over here just because of the power balance difference between the two halves of this tree, I think. But I don't know, it's hard to, because like, thematically, these spells do belong here. It's just, I think Resto and Boomkin should have been on different sides, maybe. But then, like, obviously, like, Resto relates to Boomkin a little bit. Right? They have more overlap than the other specs. Maybe what they should have done is they actually should have put Resto over on the side of Feral, because Resto likes to catweave too, right? Whereas chickens don't like to catweave anyways. So I think having Resto over here and then having Feral, Bear, Boomkin would have been more balanced in terms of like strong utility spells and where they are on the tree. But as a first pass, I'm very, very I'm excited about these trees, man. I'm excited to get in there and play around with them on the alpha. It's gonna be fun. Not sure how I feel about Berserk being split up into like 4 different spells, right? You got Berserk, and then you got the 2 buffs to Berserk here, and then you have Incarn, which further buffs Berserk. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess they kind of had to fill in some points, but I don't know. Seems weird. But I guess the thing is, like, the main one I don't get is this one. This is the defensive one, right? That's Preservation or Persistence. This one, I feel like could just be a different talent, and this could be baked into default Berserk. This one, making Berserk also buff Haste and Mauls. I can see, like, yeah, leave that over there. I don't know. Maybe if they made this one do, like, Moonfire stuff or something. Maybe it already does Moonfire. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just, like, something more related to not general Berserk stuff. Maybe I'm just being picky, though. I do like these a lot. I'm very excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. That's all I've got for this video though, guys. So as always, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. And of course, turn on notifications as well so you don't miss any Dragonflight news. I will keep the videos on that coming as we get new information. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.